Okay, so I decided to make a video of my 1990 Chevy K5 Blazer that I had bought last August, and it was in pretty bad shape. It needed a lot of work, not any body work. I bought it out of Florida, so it only had like one little rust spot on the interior, but I had to completely redo the truck. I started with undercoating it. It didn't have good undercoating on it, so I stripped the whole underneath of it, and it probably took around, I'm gonna say maybe 200 hours. I got in there with a bunch of different wire wheels and wire wheeled the frame and everything down to bare metal as much as I could, and just, you know, got the whole thing down to bare metal as much as I could with wire wheels and sanders and anything that I can just get my hands on. And then after I got it all sanded down, I used the POR 15. I used the cleaner, the metal prep. Then I hit it up with 2 coats of POR 15 undercoater and then 2 coats of POR 15 top coat. So that baby got 4 coats of undercoater on it, which I don't suspect there'll be any problems with it ever rusting out anymore. I don't plan on driving it in the snow. I do live in New England, nor driving in the mud. I just spent too much time and effort on it to mess it up like that. But so yeah, the undercoating took about 200 hours. Then I had to prepare the body, which wasn't too bad. Like I said, there was only one rust spot that was behind the on the interior, behind the seat, driver's seat, right on the riser pan where the back seat sits. It wasn't too bad, about a 4" by 4" spot. Cut it out, welded in some new metal, and that was it. So then I got the outside ready, sanded it all down, and painted it up. It used to be all gray. I'm going to try and get some before and after pictures in there and see if I can get those going so you could appreciate all the work that's been done. It was all solid gray. I decided to go with the 2 tones. I just kind of like the way it looks. Everything on the truck is pretty much brand new as much as I could. I didn't have to replace any body panels because they were all in good shape. But everything as far as like the molding right here and the bumpers and you know, the steps and the fender flares and handles, just about everything that LMC truck could sell I bought. It's got factory power mirrors, which I thought was pretty neat. You don't see that too often. A lot of people think those are aftermarket mirrors, but they're actually factory. Not too many Blazers had them, but I was excited when I bought the truck that it had it. So I stripped the whole truck down, got it painted up, went with the black and like aluminum stripe in the middle, put on these little fake Ram Air hood ornaments. I thought it made it look pretty nice, so I just put them on there. Picked up a brush guard for 80 bucks on Craigslist. It needs to get re-chromed. It's got some, you know, some rust on it, but it looks pretty good from far away. That's one of the few things I have to do, is just get this front brush guard re-chromed. Brand new front bumper, bug shield on there, parking lights brand new, headlights all brand new, front grille. I decided to go with a GMC grill. I thought it looked kind of nice. I might go back to the Chevy grill though. I'm not sure. I kind of like the Chevy grill too, but I figure I put the GMC grill on there. A couple tweaks here and there, a little nip here, a little tuck there, and it fit in just fine. Bezels on the left and the right, the light bezels are all new. Found the visor, actual Lund visor, which is they're hard to come by nowadays. I put the light bar on there with 6 working lights. All brand new windows, brand new front windshield, brand new side windows, brand new rear window. I didn't replace the sliders because they were actually in pretty good shape, so I didn't touch them. And tail light covers, tailgate band, brand new with that brand new emblem. LMC, pretty good place. A lot of people complain about LMC truck, about their interior parts and stuff, and I'll tell you what, I didn't have any problems with them. Especially, I heard a lot of people down in their door panels and stuff, and I found that if you just take your time with them, they're not actually too bad. They fit in there pretty well. I didn't have as much problems as people were telling me I was gonna. And then the truck originally came with a 6-inch lift with 33s. I decided to go with a 12-inch super lift and with some 39.5 Super Swamper TSLs, 17 by 15, and some XD series wheels, 17-inch by 9-inch. And I like the way they ride. I mean, it's tough getting a good ride out of a 12-inch lift, but it actually doesn't go too bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I think that's pretty much for the interior. Like I said, I bought it last August, and I finished it up probably the last week in March. I finished it up. So it took quite a while, just plugging away every day after I get out of work. And I just wanted to post a video because I love these old Blazers and any of the old square body GMs. I just think they're great classic pieces of art. They're really, really cool. They're built tough, they're built to last. This truck right here has 280,000 on the body, but it only has 31,000 on the motor and tranny. They were both rebuilt, so the truck runs really good. It's a 350 TBI with like 32,000 on it, and the body pretty much has nothing on it too, because I replaced everything you possibly could on it. I put all new body mounts on it, brand new exhausts. For the front, I put brand new Warren locking hubs, brand new rotors, brand new brakes, brand new ball joints, tie rod ends, front wheel bearings, differential case wheel bearing seals. I completely went through the entire truck. Brand new sway bar bushings. You can't see them up there. There they are. Sway bar, but everything you could possibly think of, I put brand new. You know, tie rod ends, everything, bearings, even all the U joints inside the axles are all brand new. Changed out the diff oil. Just did everything that you could possibly think of. The truck is basically brand new. As far as the rear goes, I put the rear disc conversion kit in there. Wanted to make sure I had enough stopping power for this thing, and they actually work really good. I didn't even have to go with a proportion valve. The thing stops really nice. It doesn't pull. It doesn't, you know, it stops really good for its size and everything. And those were actually a pain to put on. I didn't enjoy them too much, but got them all working. Emergency brakes work. All brand new brake lines from the front all the way back. Drive shafts lengthened by a reputable company. Brand new fuel filter. Just went through the truck as much as I possibly could, and it is just, you know, all brand new. I decided to keep the blocks in the back. There was a lot of talk about, you know, a shackle flip and blocks, and I just felt like, for me, in my case, it wasn't worth spending by the time you got done, maybe $300 to have the shackle flip done, and it wasn't going to improve the ride at all. It's just really an alternative to blocks. And people talk about wheel chatter and stopping and all that, and it just wasn't, for me, I don't think it was worth it to do it, so I just kept the blocks in there. Of course, it's got a, you know, a rough ride. Anytime you're riding on blocks, it's no fun, but, you know, the shackle flips, people think that it changes the ride of the truck, and it doesn't. It's just another alternative to blocks. That's pretty much all that it is. I don't think it makes any difference with the way the truck rides at all. So I decided to keep the blocks and not go with the shackle flipped. And that's about it. Like I said, all new brake lines, undercoated everything completely. The truck's pretty much stock as far as the motor goes. The only thing it really has is headers on it. And I also put glass packs on it because I kind of wanted it to be loud. and it runs really nice, and it's got a real nice sound to it. I'll start it up a little later. As far as the underneath goes, I guess the only thing I really have to do is paint the front drive shaft, and that's it. Decided to go with the dual steering stabilizer because when I got the truck originally, it had a single steering stabilizer, and that thing had some death wobbles, something fierce, man. It felt like the front wheels were going to fall off every time you got up to a certain speed, so I didn't want to take any chance with it. That's why I just, you know, decided to replace everything, because people said it's not just one thing that causes that. It could be a multitude of things. So I just decided to change everything to make sure. And, you know, the cost was down low. It was probably $400 to change everything. I did all the work on this truck myself. I put the lift in myself. I painted it myself. And that was pretty much it. Now, as far as the interior goes, keep in mind the interior was pretty much spent when I bought this truck. The lady that I bought it off of said that it wasn't in too bad a shape, but when I got the truck back, it was pretty much gone, which I was planning on replacing everything anyway. So what I did was I gutted the entire interior, everything, and just bought as much as I could brand new. And just decided to go everything brand new, everything from LMC. The only thing I don't like about LMC's door panels is this is plastic. I really like the velour insert that comes with the stock panels, but they don't make them like that. So I'm gonna try to figure something out. Maybe try to wrap these in some velour just to get that look. I don't like it when it's all plastic like that. But everything on it's brand new. The door panels, the band, the pull straps, the covers, the switches, the bezel, the handles, the map pockets, everything that you see is all brand new. And what else? You know, rocker panel, sill plate covers, everything. The seats weren't in too bad a shape. I just cleaned them up a little bit with some cleaner, and they weren't too bad. The center console, it had a wooden homemade center console. I found this one on the internet, is in pretty good shape, so I tossed it in. I went with a Hurst floor shifter. I just like the way they look. I'm not a big fan of anything on the column. I like, you know, my shifters on the floor, so I decided to do that. I also put some blue LEDs on the bottom, which I liked. Grant steering wheel, GT Grant steering wheel I put in there. Carved in a sunroof, didn't have one when I bought it, just chopped out a hole and put it in. Put a different light up in here. I don't know what it was on. I just bought it off the internet. It's got the center light and then the push lights on the side like that on both sides. Put that in myself. Just a little. I wasn't too concerned about keeping everything on the inside stock. I really wanted to kind of change it up a little bit on the inside, so I did as much as you can. But again, everything brand new. I cut these new rear panels in. I just went down to Home Depot and grabbed me some like masonite board and cut in the template and wrapped it up in some vinyl aluminum. Some vinyl with some cushion behind it. Cut in some new speakers. Put some auxiliary power back there because there are technology nowadays, and my kids go crazy when they don't have their phones or iPads. And then painted everything on the inside. Also, when I had the interior ripped out, I completely POR'd 15 all the floor in here with 2 coats. And then one thing that I did make a change on that was kind of a bit of a pain was I took the old radio out. I didn't like the way the radio sat in there. It was just a pain. It was, you're trying to drive and the truck's bouncing all over the place and you just can't change the stations. It's a real poor design by GM. And I just didn't like it. You couldn't see anything. It just was a real poor design. So I decided to take the radio out of there, and I put the radio over here. I'm not a smoker, don't like smoking, so I didn't need the ashtray for nothing. So I just took it out and put the radio in over there, and it seemed to work out good for me. And so I took this compartment right here. I put in an an auxiliary outlet for my phone charger, and then I made a compartment back here, which is actually pretty deep. I can fit my phone in there, my controller for my radio, some sunglasses. It worked out pretty good. And I had the radio put in over here. Everything in the truck works. You know, power windows, power locks, rear tailgate window goes up and down, tailgate opens. Put a ridiculously expensive bow tie rear view mirror, which my wife told me I shouldn't have did that, but I did it. And then I also put in, which was kind of really a pain, was these Dakota digital gauges. I can't find where my keys went. Oh, here they are. I'll turn them on so you guys can get a look at them. They were really difficult for me. I am not an electronic guy, and so they were really kind of a pain. It took me like all weekend to put them in, but I'm really happy with the results. I think they're really cool. It's very accurate. It's easy to calibrate the speedometer. You know, I got everything. I got the voltage, got the oil pressure. Excuse me. Oil pressure, fuel gauge is down here now, and water temperature. Replaced the fuel gauge in the corner over here with a tachometer, so now it has a tach, and it comes with everything. I mean, they really are a good set of gauges. I hooked up everything that I possibly could, like the four-wheel drive. When I connected it to four-wheel drive, it's got a light that comes on that says four-wheel drive. When the check engine light comes on, you can see it says engine. If something malfunctions with the motor, the check engine light comes on. They give you an option as to whether you want to keep the original blinkers, which I decided not to, or you can keep these blinkers where they blink right by your speedometer, left and right. I decided to go with that. I just kind of liked it. And what else did I hook up in there? And then you can program your odometer, which I did. I thought it was just pretty cool. I thought it was a nice additive to the truck, because I wasn't too concerned about keeping it stock. And then over here for my radio, I decided to put it over here because I have a big faceplate on it, which I can either, you know, you got radio, you can watch DVDs, it hooks up to your phone, so you can, you know, do hands-free calling and listen to your music from your phone on your radio. And then it also has a built-in navigation system, which is pretty cool, GPS. And then it also has USB. You can plug in any USB device, and then it also has an SD card for viewing videos and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty good. I liked it, so I decided to put it in. It's much more central to the truck on the inside. And then as far as the interior, I kind of deviated a little bit with the color. I kind of went with like a silver color on the inside rather than that door panel dark gray like that, because the carpet was like a very light gray. So I wanted, you know, to add a little lighter color in there, so I did. And let me see, I changed the sun visors to, I think they were out of an S10, so they got mirrors on both sides. A little bit of fabrication, but they work just fine. Back of the truck is in really good shape. Back seat is in really good shape. Armrests are in really good shape. And then I got another auxiliary outlet over there with a 6-inch round speaker. Didn't go too crazy with the stereo system. I got this head unit here. That's a Soundstream head unit. And I got some Kicker small speakers, 3.5-inch speakers up on the dash. I didn't put anything in the front because I just didn't feel like hacking up my new door panels or kick plates. So I just decided to go with some 6-inch round here. And then in the back, I put some 6x9s in the back over here on each side. And then I got a big box right here with a Rockford Fosgate powering two 12-inch subwoofers. So it's got some boom to it. And it's pretty loud as I want it to be. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make this video. I know there's still some guys out there who appreciate these old trucks. I'm hoping that you guys will post some of your trucks up here, whether they be the old GM pickups or some old Blazers or something. I love the way these trucks all look. They're just pretty nice, so I'm hoping somebody will post one of theirs too. Got to keep these things alive. All right, so thanks for viewing. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe I'll make one of my K10 when I finish that. I'm working on that now. I got an 85 K10, beautiful shape. Maybe I'm gonna do some stuff to it. I'm not sure right now. I'm just driving it, but if I do, I'll be sure to post a video of it when I'm done. Thanks everyone, and God bless.